Alright, we're here in Whistler, Canada for Crankworx 2019. It's been pretty windy all week. Tripod just fell off the first floor balcony into a tree. I was pretty lucky. Athletes have been mentioning the wind in training, but today it actually seems pretty calm. Crown jewel of Whistler's bike calendar, and definitely one of the preeminent bike events in the world. Lots of people here. Alright, lots of people waiting down at the bottom, getting excited. Got a bar on the top right. People can eat nachos and have a beer while they're watching people huck it. Good for them. Top of the course now, looking at the starting gate. This kid's getting pumped, does a few claps, adjusts his watch, and then throws in a sneaky stretch with his buddy. Rider dropping in, Eric Fetko. First feature, got a choice of a step down or drop. Goes for the step down. Solid start to the run. Looking good with a double whip. He'd end up finishing second after the first of two runs, partially due to this crazy trick. Not even sure what that is, a 1080. But it gets a crowd going somewhere between a roar and a golf clap. Next one up, one of the favorites, Nikolai Regakin, rolling in the second feature, again with two options, pulls out the 360 triple whip. This kid's head almost explodes. Unfortunately for him, he'd finish fourth after landing nose heavy on one of the jumps, but in a solid position. Next feature here, we got a gap with some option. Guy takes the left hip, solid double whip. Alright, we're under that same jump. Emilio Hansen coming down, pulls off a nice off-axis spin. Ran down to the big drop feature there. 360 table truck driver, highly technical, put him in first place after round one. Alright, here I got it running at 240 frames per second. Do I slow down look at this 360 off the big drop. Looking real good coming down. You see this kid in the bottom of the purple. He's waiting, he's happy with that landing. He goes to eat his chip. That must have tasted good. After that, there was a big shark fin hip to the left. Fortunately, didn't get any shots of that. But then you got this big berm at the bottom of the course, coming in this gap jump. Nice looking backflip 360, but he cases it on the landing into the penultimate feature called the toilet bowl for some reason. And then last feature here, tries a backflip up. It looks good, but he lands off, and he can't make it off the next feature onto the landing. So he's stuck up there. He does a wave. They get the ladder out for him, and he makes an escape. Finishing first in qualifying, another one of the favorites, Brett Rheeder. After falling higher up in the run, this end was a wash, but he throws up some solid tricks, no doubt preparing for his next run. Second run, he had the lowest scores going first. This guy throws a nice 360 up, 360 off. Throws his hands up, he's happy, crowd's happy, and we move on to the next rider. Looks like a backflip can on the way up and a 360 down. Good round of applause from the crowd. Okay, Brett Rheeder looking for redemption, having a great run down. The crowd's excited, first trick is solid, backflip whip and textbook. Everyone is into it. Fortunately for him, only good enough for second place. And all of these guys in the middle spots were pushing their limits after good runs on the first and gave me some time to relocate. He's happy, does a salute to the crowd, and we got a mega yawn in the bottom, but counteracted with the best truck driver horn of the session. Only 3 riders left to go, and Nikolai Regakin coming down in his second run. Crowds are glued to the screen. Could this be enough for the win if he gets through it clean? Maybe. But there's a crash and a universal look to the heavens to figure out if there's a god. Being a true champ, he rides out the rest of the course in style. Definitely one of the favorites here. Hops off his bike, gives a wave, and then starts giving high fives to everybody. Smile on his face. How can you not like this guy? Penultimate rider Fedko sitting in third at the moment. Does a glory lap of sorts. He's happy with his position. Takes a pragmatic approach, rides down safely, takes his spot on the podium. That means the last rider here, Emilio Hansen. He knows he's won before he started, crying in the starting gate at the top, crosses the line, the crowds are going nuts, athletes there to congratulate him. He does a one-footed slide, tosses his bike, it figures his job is done and just leaves on its own accord. He gets stormed by the riders, Red Bulls everywhere, ends up on the floor, does a winner interview, and gives a salute to the crowd. This guy's got a good story after being out 10 months last year with an autoimmune disease, coming back strong. And finishing second to Rheeder in Rotorua by half a point. He wins his first Crankworx and also gets the award for Best Pants. I know it's Emil Johansson's day to day, but I just wanted you to take a close look at Rogakin here in slow-mo. You can see he's waiting at the front. He's cracked his Red Bull. He's pumped. Running up to him, he's already spilled about 3/4 of it. By the time he gets there, there's nothing left. Everybody comes up. He does a little crazy dance. He's excited. Look at that. Right, when Johansson's on the floor, he's just screaming stuff at him. You can tell he's happy. Waits for everybody else to get in. Still screaming, and then just launches his can right at Johansson's head. Rheeder looks over. They share a chuckle. That's what helmets are for, right?